Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to Impactful Gems. Welcome to my Impactful Gem community. And for those of you all who are new, welcome. Glad to have you here. So today I wanted to talk about integrity and the importance of having integrity. It's something that's been on my mind recently. I think about it a lot because I see a lot of people that they don't have integrity. And that's always bothered me, like always. Like ever since I was little, I just, part of it is, well, mostly is because of the way I grew up, because that's the one thing that I was always taught that your word is your bond. And so I'm really big on, and that's another red flag too in a relationship. But we're not talking about relationships today, right now, not right now. But I'm gonna have to write that one down too. Another red flag: people that don't keep their word. That's a problem. That's a red flag for me. May not be for other people, but for me, that's a red flag. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about integrity and just how it affects our society, how it does affect relationships and business partnerships and a lot of other things. So I looked up the word because I'm really big on words and what they mean. So integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It's about doing the right thing even when it's difficult or no one is watching. Yeah, that's a big one because even when someone isn't watching, you still should be a person of character and be a person that is going to, if you say you're going to do something, do it. So I'm going to dive in here a little bit. Here's some other key things about integrity. Honesty. Here are characteristics of integrity. Honesty, being truthful and honest in actions. Consistency, uh, adhering to a set of moral and ethical principles. Now, here's a big one for me. Here's a big one. Here's a big one for me. And I'm definitely going to elaborate on this one. Reliability, being trustworthy and keeping your word. That right there, let me tell, okay, this is how I am. Everybody's different. But I'm the type of person that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Unless I'm dead or it was an emergency type situation. Pretty much that's why I'm very careful. Like if someone asks me to come to an event or something like that, and I'm really not sure, I won't say I'm coming. I I I won't say that I'm coming because see, once I say I'm coming, I'm coming. Period. That's just how I am, and I know everybody's not like that, and that's fine. Everybody's different, but that reliability part, that's important to me. That's important. I don't play when it comes to my word and my name. And I mentioned it in another video, this job situation that happened recently. My name was put on the line. Okay, that was a problem. All right, we're about to have an issue right here because I don't play when it comes to my name. It's gonna be a problem up in here. Heads about to roll because I don't play when it comes to my name. Now, we all got a lot of different issues, but when it comes to my name, oh, it's going to be a problem. You put my name, okay. All right, it's going to be a problem. I do not play when it comes to my name. And then the uncompromising, refusing to change your moral principles. So, y'all know how, have you all ever been around somebody and they're like chameleons? They're like chameleons. So they get into they may be this way in one environment, and then they get into another environment, and you be like, "Is that the same person? Is that the same? That that's a, oh okay. I thought that was a different person. Those chameleons, to me, I call them fake. That's what I call them. It's fake. 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 But the integrity part is really important because, and when it's a pattern, when you're known, this is the sad part. When you're known for not keeping your word, that's not good. That's not good because people they can't rely on you. You should not be the type of person that somebody says, if you say you go do something and people in the back of their mind, they like, well, that's what they say. We'll see. We'll see. Y'all know how they say, you know what they're saying? I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. It's that type of person. That. So let me tell y'all, for those of you all who are new, I love examples because it brings it into the practical. So this happened to me yesterday. So I had ordered something, and this happens, a lot, but order something from Amazon. So you all know how Amazon, where when your package is delivered, they'll send you a message in your email, and it'll say something like, it'll tell you where the package was left. So it'll say left in the mailbox, left on a porch or whatever. So I check my email to see if my package, because Amazon, it tells you what time it's coming. So I checked my email. I knew around what time it was going to be here. So I checked my email. So it said it had arrived, and it said package was left in customer's mailbox. So because it was a small package. So I go down, I look out, I go down, open the door. It was not in my mailbox. It was on the ground, on the porch, not the stairs. I said, all right. And that actually confirmed what I was going to talk about today. Because I was thinking about doing integrity anyway. I was like, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Now that person, first of all, you lied. You didn't even put it, you didn't even, and all the lady or man had to do was come up. You already, the mailbox was like one step away, and you just threw it on the ground, and you couldn't put it in the mailbox. But you said you reported to Amazon that it was in the mailbox. Okay. All right. All right. I could tell you're not a person of integrity. You're a liar. You lied. All right. So, yeah, so that's just an example of somebody not being a person of integrity. You didn't put that in the mailbox. You just threw it on the ground. All right. All righty then. So something else I found out about integrity. Another term. This is something I want you all to think about, because I hadn't thought about this until like about this like maybe like about probably about, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago. So it's something to think about. So it's also called, when someone doesn't keep their word, it's called a broken agreement. Have you all heard of that? It's called a broken agreement. So a lot of it stems from childhood. So because I was involved in this, it was like a workshop, and they taught us to think about broken agreements that you maybe had, that you had from childhood, that you didn't really know because you didn't know what the word broken agreement meant. But the person that was doing the workshop told us to think about, back in childhood. Say for instance, you were in the Girl Scouts, or well, no, let's use sports for instance. So let's say for instance you played, I don't know, a sport. Let's say in junior high school, and you told your parent or your caretaker, that you were going to practice, But you cut practice that day. You were doing something else. You ain't go to practice that day. Guess what? That's a broken agreement. Hmm. That's a broken agreement. What about what about oh has anybody ever been stood up? Has anybody ever been stood up as far as like a date? Wow. Yeah. I've heard some stories. I've heard some stories about people who they got all dressed up and was waiting for the man to come and he never came. So sad. So sad. Yeah. A broken agreement on that man's part. And then I heard this one story where the lady she got all dressed up and was waiting for the man to come. He never came. Then he calls her the next day, like, "Hey, what's up? What's what's up? You got to be kidding me right now. This is a joke. This is a joke. You act like ain't nothing happened. That's a problem. That's another red flag. Red flag. Yeah. Broken agreement. That's a problem. That is a big problem. Hopefully it's a problem for you too when you accept that behavior where people don't keep their word and you still are involved with them. You accept that behavior. Okay. All right. So sad for you. What about the situation where you're late, right? You're late for an event. You're supposed to be there at a certain time and you're late and you just walk in like okay, like here I am. Talking about like a couple minutes late. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about say the event started at 5 and you got there at 5:30. 5:45. You just walk in and just sit down. No apology, no acknowledgement, no saying, oh, I'm sorry. Especially if I'm talking about like a meeting situation where it really doesn't even matter if it's a meeting situation, but I'm just using that because that's like a better visual. You just walk into the meeting like, hey, I'm here. I remember I was in this group and it was it was it was it was funny. It was funny. And the guy was like, he didn't think it was funny, but it was funny to us, but he didn't think it was funny. But it was like I was involved in this. It was like this week long situation where we were supposed to be. We started on time. We had to be prompt. The person that was holding the meeting, they explained to us, I start on time. I don't play. I start on time. I prompt. So that's that. So it was this one guy. He was late. He was late every day, and he would just be strolling in just so days ago. Like he'd be strolling in, and so one day because this was like a week long like conference situation. So one day, the person that was holding the meeting, because the person was taking attendance, and he was like, he said, okay, he said, this is what I'm gonna do. So of course, the one guy, he was just late every day, just strolling in, and so, and he would be like real late. I'm talking about like half hour, and so the guy would close the door. So the door would lock. The door was locked once he closed the door. So the guy had to knock before, if you locked out, you have to knock to get in. And so the guy, the guy that was holding the meeting, he said, okay, y'all, when such and such comes in, he said, when he comes in, everybody clap. You're like, woo! It was so funny. And so the guy, he came in like he's about 25 minutes late. And he came in and we all clapped. We stood up, we gave him a standing ovation. And he was like, all right. He was like, he was like mad. But it's like, come on now. Come on now. Let's get it together. It's not good to just not even acknowledge, but You know what? Once I think about the broken agreements, he probably had a lot of broken agreements as a child. Probably started in childhood. Yeah, because it becomes ingrained in you. Now you can change if you want to change. Some people they don't want to change. That's everything in life. Some people they don't want to change. But if you want to change, you could change. You could change anything. You could change your weight. You could change the way you eat. You could change the way you dress. You could change the way if you want healthy relationships. You could change anything that you want to. But of course, change is a choice, obviously, right? So yeah, that was funny. I thought about that. That was hilarious. But that was just somebody that they don't have integrity. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. It's certain people I would never ask them to take me to an airport to if I was and went on the trip because I may miss my plane waiting on them. But then you have those people that and I have several people in my life. They always are very prompt. They keep their word. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. Period. So that's that's what I wanted to talk to you all about today is integrity. If you had I would encourage you to do an inventory. Do an inventory because sometimes we have broken agreements with ourselves too. Say for instance, if you say, okay, I'm going to exercise 3 days a week, or I'm going to eat fruit every day, at least once a day. And, okay, one day goes by, you don't do it. 2 days go by, you don't do it. 3 days go by. Okay, now those become broken agreements. Because you can have broken agreements with yourself. Yeah, you can have broken agreements with yourself too. So I would just encourage you all, work on keeping your word. Nobody's perfect, but just think about keeping your word. It's very important, especially when you have people depending on you. That's a problem. So let's work on being a person of character and having integrity because it's going to affect. And here's my gem. Here's my gem. Here's my gem for today. One of my favorite quotes: how you do anything is how you do everything. So keep that in mind. It doesn't just affect one area in your life. No, it doesn't. It spills over. It spills over into other areas of your life. So, how you do anything is how you do everything. All right, guys. So, take care. Keep your word. Let's be people of integrity. All right. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All right. Keep your word. All right. Let's work on that integrity, y'all. All right. See y'all next time. Bye bye.